What's up, Jantans and Jantanites? It's Jason Desmond from the Jantan Collective with a brand new edition of What's Up With That. This is where we question, we learn, and of course, we grow. Now, we'd love to hear from you, so please subscribe, like, and comment below because we want to basically get your thoughts on something. Maybe it's something that we've done before, or maybe there's something that you want us to talk about. Get in touch. Now, we've been under this lockdown, MCO, whatever you want to call it, for over a year now. Yes, it's been on and off kind of thing, right? Yes, we've had times that we could go out again, but we're stressed out, man. Times are tough. We need a break. We need a laugh. But guess what? There are no stand-up comedians doing shows. What's up with that? To talk us through this, what's been going on, what have they been up to? We are with two of Malaysia's favorite stand-up comics. They are, of course, good friends of ours, Papi Zak and Kavin Jay. Kavin, Papi Zak, what's up, man? How are you guys?
What's up, JD?
How things been, guys?
Like that lah.
Right. It has been just like that. Like, I mean, it's been a freaking year of this thing, right? How's the pandemic been for you guys?
Well, for me, it's been. I don't know whether I want to enjoy it or not. I mean, it's a year of no work, no income, nothing to do. But it's also been a year of me being able to catch up on the games I couldn't play, catch up on the TV shows I couldn't watch,
And watch
catch up on
Justice
the
League.
movies. Yeah, one Justice League movie that came out today, and it's all those things that I crave for when I had work, but it's also the thing that I now crave work lah.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah,
Zach,
exactly.
how things been, man?
It's pretty much same old. Like, for me, I think not getting out to be able to like hit the gym was a big issue for me. So, but yeah, like Kavin said, I was catching up on a lot of movies, a lot of series, and a lot of video game. Like, actually, I'm bonding more with friends that I usually don't hang out with in the real world over like PlayStation for like, the community. We're always hanging out like at like 10, 11, and then just stay up till 3 o'clock just talking about shit and killing people.
Yeah, but seriously, I mean, you guys have been doing like no shows because some of the musicians have been doing all this like online concerts and stuff.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's been online shows. It's just that, look, I mean, again, no disrespect to people who like doing online shows, and in fact, a lot more power to them. Like, I feel like I don't like doing online shows. I feel like doing an online show kind of dilutes the comedy a little bit. Like,
is it weird though? I mean, like it's like you don't feed off the crowd and feed off the audience and everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I've done a few corporates online on Zoom. Okay, like you get that feedback a little bit, but maybe 1 or 2 seconds later. But it just feels like it just feels weird. Yeah. Like you're at home and you're shouting at the microphone on the computer screen, and it's just weird. Like, it's too weird for me. I don't like doing it. I like shouting at actual people.
Yeah.
It's nice. You get that feedback, you get the laughter, you know whether the joke is going well or not, because you can see it from their body language that they're going with it or they're not going with it. You can push forward or pull back as much as you want. You can't do crowd work, which is a lot of what I do, and it's just weird for me. Like, I can't, like, musicians, it's I guess they can play music. You play music,
but even they feel
yourself.
it apparently.
Yeah, I know. I can imagine. Like, I don't know. I'm not a musician, but I feel like for them, it'll feel like a jam session,
Yeah.
Like, you're not paying for anybody, you're just playing for practice. Like, for us, for a comedian, we don't do practice. We don't go in front of a mirror and
we don't tell jokes for ourselves. It's like, you so fat, Zach. You know.
We know the jokes. We hate. I mean, we hate hearing it. We like hearing the response to the jokes.
Yeah.
That's why we tell jokes, right? It's not the joke that we are listening to. It's the response that we get from it, and that's what we want. And if you can't get the response, and then it becomes a moot point, lah. I mean, at the end of the day, we want to obviously, make money. So we still accept any online corporate. If anybody out there want online corporate, call lah.
How's it work? I mean, it's online. Do you still get paid as much? If you don't mind me prying, Zach?
No. I mean, not really lah. They usually
No,
contact
yeah.
and they say like, hey, online can less lah.
Like how much less? Because I mean, it's got to hit the pocket seriously. I mean, 1 year of this,
Half,
right?
Eddie, half.
Really? Serious?
Yeah, sometimes even quarter.
Damn.
Depends. It all depends on when you accept. It all depends on your bank account. You like, they'll throw you a number, and you will feel insulted, and then you look at your bank account and you go like, actually, you know what? It still helps.
Money is money.
Money is money.
Right? Because you need to like, Zach. Half of it is like, it's severe. I mean, the last time I saw you on stage, I think it was at Crack House, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's Crack House. Yes,
you were hosting it, and then I can't remember which one it was, but I think that was the last one. There was like a year plus ago, and then boom, it just stops right there. Right, there's no way you can even prep for shit like that, right?
Yeah, it's if anything that I've learned during this whole pandemic is, man, I take a lot of shit for granted, and like stage time, like times when people ask me to come perform, I'm like, nah, I'm kind of tired. And like now, I realize what that energy, like being on stage, the energy that it gives me, that I feed off of people, the audience member. I miss that rush of adrenaline,
Yeah.
So starting this year, like, I'm just like, I appreciate any stage time I can get, to interact with audience members, to see their laughter, to see their smiling faces, to entertain them. Like, I'll never take that shit for granted again. Like, I will welcome it.
I mean, I've been conditioned to think that, comedians, especially artists, is basically an unretrenchable job. It's a job that cannot be replaced by robots. It's a job that cannot be replaced, by other people. You do what you do, and then now the pandemic hits, and then you realize you're not essential. You are the least essential person in the world. Like, we need doctors, obviously.
Yeah.
We need, engineers to build the stuff. We need people who sell food. We need this, we need that. But comedy, you can live without now.
The delivery food riders suddenly became like, what, they are essential already, right? Because without them, right?
I mean, without them, would we have survived the pandemic?
Yeah.
No. Without a comedian, probably.
It's like robots taking over our jobs. Like, how many humans does it take to change a light bulb? None.
Have you seen some of those AI deep fake stuff that they're putting up in the newsreaders? And someone actually did a whole concert, and it was all like AI stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck? So when I saw that, I'm like, fine, okay, even radio DJs, TV hosts, newsreaders can go already, right? But
to be fair,
I hope the comedians know, because it's a different game.
To be fair, radio DJs could have gone a long time ago.
Yeah, dude, seriously.
After the software came out, look, you're a radio DJ. We both have been radio DJs.
Yeah.
Let's face it, we did nothing. Okay, we just press play and we talk for a while.
Need to edit. So need to edit.
Now people can edit for you, bro. Don't need. It's no need already. That's the thing. But okay, I mean, the thing is, yeah, I mean, robots can take over, AI can take over, but however, creative human connections with art, I don't think AI can take over. I mean, I don't think ever, because the thing is, look, I mean, you can teach an AI everything but at the end of the day, it cannot have that human interaction or that human experience to be able to relate to another human being. So in that sense, I think comedy, music, acting, it's very difficult for an AI to take over.
How's the family taking it, guys? This whole year.
No, I mean, your family.
Yeah. I mean, like in general, yeah.
I guess, the thing
Anyone
is,
worried?
I mean, my wife still has a job, which is a good thing. I think that helped a lot. I had my savings, which is pretty much run out already by now. But, at the end of the day, I survived with my savings, and then she had an income as well. So she helped out. And so that helped a lot. That helped a lot. The fact that, that she still has a job, and a good one at that. Like, so I was okay for this thing. And I'm glad now that things are starting to open up, because, I can go back to work as well.
Aren't you allowed to have shows right now again? Like the cinemas are back open and everything. Isn't it back open?
Yes.
As of last Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah. And are you guys going to start shows again?
Here's the problem. They said can open, but they didn't tell us what the SOPs are. So people are still trying to figure out. That's the problem, and we don't want to be the first one to kena, to do something wrong, because the way our information system works, it's not, it's basically,
Chinese
oh,
whispers.
Leffler can do, that means we also can do. That's how our SOP works, right? So we need to wait for someone to do it before we can say, oh, he did this, so we also can do this,
Right.
right? Because we can't do something different. It's just weird how the uh the spread of information is so bad. Like they will say, okay, can open, but then the people in the industry itself don't get information on what they should do. If they do get information, they get very conflicting information, because some say, oh, it's 50%, some say no, you have to have 1.5 meter distance, then some people say no, 1 meter is enough, and then some people say no, you need to have this, and then some people say no, you need to have that, some people say you need to have testing in front of the venue before coming in. Like, how do you
Ass
have,
swabs.
like, how can you do COVID testing? Like, that is not possible. Like, the cost and everything will go up. So at the end of the day, I think now it's more towards the fact that, oh, yes, they can say can, but we need to wait for someone to do it first, and then we follow exactly what they did.
Has Rizal or Shankar wanting to open crack house again? Have they been asking around and seeing like what's allowed?
Yeah, I mean, the Crack House had a show yesterday,
Yeah.
the open mic, and I think the Joe Factory opens today. So in that sense, I think they are opening. They are obviously, following the SOP, where they have 1.5 meters away, and I think it's 30% occupancy. Because I mean, the problem was that comedy clubs are built to be a place where people congregate tightly.
Intimate.
It's very intimate. You feel the guy
Yes.
next to you. That's how laughter is infectious.
Yeah.
I mean, we just want to infect the laughter, not anything else. That's how now.
That's how we spread our pandemic.
Now, like, now
laughing
people are
pandemic.
spread out a little bit, so it'll be a bit weird, but it's still people. It's still 30%. You still can work with.
But Zach, how do you feel
on
the government is doing all this, man? I mean, like, do they need to be clear about how you guys are
Oh
supposed to run
hell
shit?
yeah, they need to be clear.
If you were running it, what would the SOPs be like? Everybody need to get checked, and how would that affect your show? How would that affect your performance?
That would affect timing. Like people would have, like, say the show started at 8:00, then people would have to come in by 7:00 so they can, each of them can get tested and then start the show on time. That's already troublesome. And then the other thing is, like, say we do like the 50% capacity, but then somebody comes in and we get rated, and then they say, oh no, this is not SOP, even though it's 50%, whatever, and then you get fined the 50K or whatever. That's what all these clubs are trying to avoid. We want to abide by the SOPs. We don't want to break the law, but you must make the law clear.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's just basically they have already taken such a huge impact, and I'm not talking only about the comedy clubs. I'm talking about any other businesses as well. They've taken such a big impact on the pandemic already that opening up now and getting a 50,000 ringgit fine would probably shut them down for good.
Yeah.
Like that would be the final straw that breaks the camel's back. They've already suffered so much over the year, and as of time of recording, it's been 1 year since the last MCO.
Yeah. So how? I mean, like, when's the next show? What do you guys? How is this gonna work out, man? Because Kavin, you already said your savings run out already. Zach, are you running dry already, or?
I guess I'm one of the few lucky comedians who has a contract with like a certain company that pays me for the year. So I'm kind of like living off that savings,
right?
But there are other full-time comedians who are just they make their money by being on stage, and those guys are suffering. So I guess I'm very lucky. And I have my own mother to be my own sugar mama. So, I mean, that's that.
How is she taking it?
She's like, get a real job.
Right?
Why couldn't you be a dentist like I wanted you to? Dentist? Yeah, she wanted me.
Really? You?
Listen. For those watching on video, can you show the hands, please? How is
Damn,
that?
How's it gonna fit in my mouth?
It's the tools. It's like
root canal. Holy.
Open wider. Open. Hey, wide already lah. How wide you want me open?
It's like alien. Hey,
I
but I'm
don't
seriously
know.
concerned about because the whole reason why we're doing this, because I'm wondering, because Kavin, I think we talked about this on my radio show at one time. We were chatting with you, right, about how
Yeah.
things were, and then there was heading. Was it in MCO? Was that about to get into MCO back then?
I think about to get into it.
Right,
Yeah.
we heard all the whispers of things about to shut down and everything.
Yep.
God, we were talking about your Netflix show at that point, and then
Yeah.
boom, everything just fucking
Boom,
shut
everything
down.
shut down. Yeah,
Right?
I had so many plans. I was supposed to do a Europe tour. I was
Mm.
supposed to, which I was telling you on your show.
Yeah,
I was already, already booked my tickets to go to Europe. I already had people in London who I was supposed to speak to kind of, hook me up with some stuff, and then, lead on to Edinburgh Festival, which I was supposed to do, and everything was there. Like
Mm.
it was already laid out for me, and I was just supposed to go to London on April, and kind of just ride the wave from there. And yeah, we all know what happened after that.
Yeah.
March, everything shut down. My tickets got delayed, and then now they just call me and said, "Look, we're just going to give you back the money." And it's been a year. I don't know if I can revive this or not. I don't know if I can go back to the same people and say, "Hey, you remember 1 year ago we were supposed to do this? Can we do it now?" It's just, I don't even know if the same people are still there.
Mm.
The people I spoke to have all left that company.
Right.
Oh
So
no.
Because they
basically,
couldn't maintain. Everybody's
yeah,
losing their jobs,
yeah,
right?
exactly. So it's because it's a talent agency, right?
Yeah.
So I was supposed to. So I spoke to the people in LA, and they were interested in signing me up, but
Mm.
I didn't want to go to LA because LA is not my favorite place in the world.
Mm.
Hey,
So I
come on,
decided.
bro.
I mean, look, it's a preference thing. It's too expensive. Plus, London, I know how to get around London. I've been there. It's kind of like home to me a little bit. So I thought, so they were the one who suggested, maybe if LA is not a place for you, you could choose between New York or London.
Mm.
And I thought to myself, London could be something. And I spoke to the guys in London, and they were very interested. They were very encouraging, and but they were also very honest in the fact that, look, we need to see what you can do. Like, we need to see what you how we can work with you, so that we can make you do something that we want to sell. And I was very confident of my ability. I think I know what my ability is. I've traveled to Europe before. I performed in Europe before. I know that my comedy is relatable to most people, and I know that I know what I can do. So I was quite confident in that sense lah. But then, yeah, when the pandemic hit, everybody was like, okay, let's we delay it, and I thought it's going to be a month, 2 months, 3 months max. A year later, yeah lah, I'm watching Snyder Cut at home lah.
Zach, any plans? If
Well,
this doesn't work out, really go back in the dentistry.
I wouldn't go back into dentistry, but I have come across a venture that I have recently fell in love with, and that is the food business.
Nice.
Really, you fell in love with it?
But you've always been in love with it.
No. I've always been the guy who participated in eating the food.
Right.
I guess the twist would be now that I would make the food and sell the food.
Okay, I want to get into that in a bit.
Okay.
But before that,
Uh-huh.
you guys said you have savings, you have plans. When things happen again, hopefully.
No. If it happens again, we're dead.
No, I mean, like, if things open up again and then you're okay, and then the show start again, then you're gonna
Then
stick
okay
to it,
lah.
right?
Yeah. I mean, we have to start the savings again lah.
Yeah, right. You gotta but because you've done this before, it's like if another fucking pandemic comes around, I know exactly what's gonna happen or how I'm gonna save
I mean,
myself.
it took
Right?
me years to build up the savings that I have now
Yeah.
for me to finish.
Mm.
But I don't know how long it would take for me to build again, because you in a pandemic, you live in a sense, you kind of live with your savings. You have the liquid cash, but you also have debt that grows,
Yeah.
right? So you kind of have to, when you come out of it, you are trying. First thing you'll do is you try to get yourself out onto the surface of water, right? You try to get yourself up to the surface. Once you get up to the surface, then maybe if you make enough, then you can start your savings and become black again. Like just go into the black again. So I don't know how long this will take. I really don't. I don't know what kind of gigs is gonna show up after the pandemic. Are they gonna, are they gonna just go like, hey, you know what? That whole performing online thing was great, so maybe we'll go with that. And I hate it.
No,
Yeah.
no.
So what are you gonna do? Go back to being an engineer?
No lah, cannot lah, bro. I cannot. I tried. I tried. I mean, look, he fell in love with the food, business. I was part of that venture as well.
Yeah.
And I realized one very big thing about myself, which is I left job for a reason,
Mm.
which is I don't want to get up early. I don't want to work hard. I just want to make money. You know what I mean? It's a lot of hard work, lah. It's a lot of hard work.
Invest in do investments lah in sports toto.
Bitcoin.
I think Bitcoin, it's a bit late. Now. I don't know.
No.
Okay, it's a bit late. That's a Bitcoin.
Just do, and then you buy at 20,000, suddenly you drop to 10,000,
Yeah.
you screwed, right?
But then it goes back up again.
How you know?
No, bro.
God. Guys, you guys are probably one of the more, I suppose, better off stand-up comedians out there already, right? But there's the ones who just were about to come into the game and everything, right? Are they like, are they giving up already? Have you heard from them?
No, we've heard from a few. I think they're okay. I mean, some of them, it's very sad that some of them did go through depression,
Yeah.
and it's a very difficult time for them. And I mean, it's nice to see them coming out of it now. Jumping on stage, doing stuff. Like there's one guy that we know, I'm not gonna name names lah, but he went through a depression. It was very difficult to see him like that. But now he's found new things. He's doing a YouTube channel which is going very successfully. He started a stream as well, which is going very successfully as well. So now that the stage is opening up, he's slowly coming back. So yeah, things are starting to normalize. I think it was the second MCO that really killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
It killed a lot of hope. I don't know if you know, June, July, we were back performing again. We were doing shows. It was a month or two
again,
of
right?
that, and then boom, everything shut down again. But
when you're trying to get yourself out of things, and then it kicks you in the ass again. Right?
I know, and it was a difficult time. You are right though. I mean, me and Zach, I guess the more well off lah. We it's easy for us to say like, oh, we'll be fine, don't worry, but there's a lot of people out there, not only comedians, but there's a lot of people in the music industry, in the production areas where they suffered lah. They suffered a lot. Like, I know some stand-up comics who were, rich kids lah, anak dato and all, so they are okay. Like Zach. But okay, my advice to any young comedian would be, don't quit your day job. Comedy doesn't pay. At the end of the day, do it until you get yourself in a position where you will get paid. Like you're good enough that you get corporates, you per month income is enough for you to survive, then quit your job. That's what I did. I've been doing comedy for 14 years, but out of that 14 years, I think we've been doing for 14 years, I think. But in that 14 years, I think 9 years or nine years, I had a job. I had a day job. I went to work every day. After work, I get off, then I do comedy. It wasn't one of those where I did it. I just focus full time. No, cannot. It doesn't pay as well as you think. I mean, unless you're getting the corporate jobs, and you're not getting the corporate jobs until you're a name. Or if not the corporate jobs that they are offering you is the ones that they can afford lah, like the 100 200 ringgit jobs, which to be fair you shouldn't take lah.
No, but like for me, like it was a very harsh lesson for me to go, because I started comedy and then I was still in production. And there was still a balance there, because you weren't on shoot every day, right? So, and then I went into radio where I did the breakfast shift, and that just messed up my life, and I had to give up one or the other. And for me, comedy was first love, so I kind of left radio. But then it wasn't until I was securing at least 2 or 3 corporates a month that I was confident that I could just be a full-time comedian. So when I confirmed like at least 2 or 3 corporate jobs a month, and then I had that TV gig, I was feeling pretty comfortable. And then with the ambassadorship and everything, Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean, and this is just in 2016. I would say that's when things started kicking up for me.
Right.
Yeah, and we started in 2006. Remember?
Yeah.
A lot of struggle, a lot of pain. And
Yeah.
the problem now also is because even for us, I mean, when we MC an event or if you do corporate gigs and everything, the corporates need to have money to hire you for an event that they're putting together. But now even the corporates, they're struggling to even hold on to staff and everything. They're also in the red right now. So that's going to take a long time for the just kick back into some kind of gear, right?
Yeah. I mean, no, there's two thoughts in this, right? One is that yes, the small to medium kind of, they lost a lot of money, so they won't have a lot of money to spend for basically employee welfare, which is the annual dinners and the sports days and the stuff that we actually work on lah. But however, the bigger corporates, they have money put away for this. It's part of their tax incentive that they put money away for this, and they couldn't have done anything for the past 1 year, so they have that money that they need to spend so that they don't pay tax on it, right? So basically there will be an influx, I think, when this all goes away. I think when things go back to normal, it's going to be a little of an influx, I think. Just a blip, right? And then everything kind of drops and then goes back to normal.
Right.
So that's, I mean, one thought is that, yeah, like you said, money is dried up. It's going to take a while before it climbs back up again.
What a great discussion so far, but you know what? There's so much to talk about here. We're going to have to break this into two parts. So the next section of this discussion will be coming to you soon. So please do subscribe. And remember, don't be a dick.